Okay, I think this is streaming. I need to double check it. But, hi guys, it's Silver. This is Gaming in the Grove, and this is a weird, kind of different type of video. Just gotta make sure everything's still going correct, because I'm streaming straight through OBS into YouTube right now, and not done that yet. So, gonna quickly double check that, and then we'll get right into it. Because, yep, there we are. It's absolutely going live right now. So, okay. Hi, guys. We are after the Sony press conference. They decided to do a state of play since E3 has technically been canceled. Which is weird because I'm someone who I actively have like notebooks filled with like notes and details because I love E3. I am a gamer. I love the industry. I have been focused on it for years. I have got notebooks filled with information about each different E3, when things were announced, what they all announced. And so I watch everything. I even if I'm not the biggest fan of it, I watch it because I'm curious. I love to see what they're doing next. And Sony's a weird one because year and year and year, like each year, sorry, I realized I wasn't being very clear. Each year, I kind of watch them and I kind of go, "You're showing me less of what I want to see. I'm seeing less and less things that interest me about your platform." I bought a PlayStation 4 specifically so I could play things like Horizon Zero Dawn and like Spider-Man. But here's the thing. No matter how much I enjoyed those experiences, it's just once again showed me that why should I buy them on Sony's consoles? I got to experience them finally on PC, and they were actually better on PC for me. Like, I loved getting to experience the games on PC. Well, except Spider-Man. Spider-Man hasn't yet come to PC. And I wish it would, especially now that today's announcement was actually confirming what we already knew. Spider-Man Remastered's coming. Woo! Congrats, you're remastering a game that was already extremely pretty. I hope that it gets a PC release soon. Other than that, I've went through the entire lineup and looked through everything Sony unveiled. I went through the entire stream itself and like looked to see what was all there, and it's just not for me. The big thing that was the focus this time was the PlayStation VR 2. Essentially, it's their 2.0 of the VR for the PlayStation 5, which is cool, interesting. They've got some unique titles coming out for it. They've got a new updated version of No Man's Sky for it. Cool. The most interesting thing I saw was a Horizon Zero Dawn spin-off game that's in VR, which was, wow, that was amazing. That's the thing that made me want it, but at the same time, why should I get with PlayStation VR? Because I don't own a VR yet, and this has to sell me on buying multiple $100s worth of systems, when I could just save up and maybe someday it'll come to Steam and I'll be able to play it on like an index or something that's even better than PlayStation VR. Like, I can't find a reason to want to get PlayStation VR if there's something better out there. The best thing that made me kind of go, okay, I might want to get this is like Stray. Stray is a game about you're playing a cat, like in a world that's full of like robots and stuff, and it looks really cool. But it's on PS5 and PS4. Like I have a console that can play it. I could literally just load it up. And I might. That might literally be a game that I buy for my PlayStation 4 because it's a game I can play on my console. It's not upselling me to PS5. Sure, it'll look a bit prettier, but why should I do that? Looking at the rest of what they have here announced, they announced a new thing for Walking Dead. Meh. More Resident Evil in VR. Cool for people who like horror. Another horror game, Callistico Protocol. Didn't really strike me as interesting. Street Fighter. I hate fighting games. I can't remember that. Final Fantasy 16, I believe, is what it is. They're really pushing the X's, and the Roman numerals are really getting a workout with the Final Fantasy series. You know, once again, Tunic was showing off here again. Cool. Season also showing off. Looked pretty unique. I'm gonna be frank. Sony needs to find a way to up their game. My experience of watching the State of Play, which is essentially supposed to be their E3 replacement for this year, doesn't make me want to buy a PlayStation 5. It doesn't make me want to buy a PlayStation VR 2. I want to be like wowed away and be like, I need this technology. But they haven't done anything to make me want it. Their titles aren't there. Their backing of the platforms aren't there. How they handled the PlayStation VR the first time around on PlayStation 4 was abysmal. And the fact that they're not going harder out of the gate swinging with more titles for 2 makes me go, why should I get this? If you're only going to have like 4 or 5 games in there, why should I get this? When I can go over and get like an Index or an Oculus 2 or Quest or what. If I can get a PC version that has a larger library and has more things coming out for it, why should I go with your version? And I think that's the issue that I'm facing with a lot of the developers and different companies, is I'm now having to look at things in a different lens. PlayStation, cool. You've got your PlayStation 5. Nothing makes me want to buy a PlayStation 5. Are you going to be bringing these games to PC? Because if you can bring them to PC, you can sell them to me as like a really good publisher. Because that's essentially what you're becoming a bit, is you're becoming a publisher with exclusives that you're publishing. I don't see you as a console manufacturer anymore. And that's kind of how I've also started turning to my Xbox. Xbox I view as a publisher, not as a console manufacturer. Sure, the Xbox Series X and all that is like cool. It's like higher end computers that are great for playing things, but at the same time, that's not what I'm looking at Xbox out now. I'm looking at Microsoft and Xbox and going, cool, what are you publishing? Oh, you're publishing all these games on both Xbox and PC? Cool! I'm going to pick that up on Steam later. That's what I like to see. PlayStation, you started doing that, and I was really excited. When I saw Horizon Zero Dawn on Steam, that was brilliant. I was so excited and so happy. God of War on there as well. Sony, brilliant move. I am so happy and excited to see that. And I want to see it more. Because you're not selling me on your consoles anymore. You just really aren't. You aren't pitching me anything that I need to have. So you need to sell me on your games, and you really haven't been doing that. So, this is just my Gaming in the Grove Silver thoughts. Guys, you're trying. You're trying. It definitely feels like there's maybe a goal there. I think you're playing it in a very different league, and I feel like in my experience, I am less and less interested in PlayStation as a console brand going forward, just because of how you're treating things. I want you to do well. I want you to do well so bad. Because Sony, you have some amazing titles there. You have some amazing creative teams there. You have amazing thoughts and ideas. Like, I want to see that technology in the PlayStation 5 controllers applied elsewhere. And I would love to see more stuff like that. But you're not selling it very well. You're not making me want it. The ergonomics are getting better, but your controllers still kind of suck. You're. And yes, I will admit, Microsoft isn't the end all be all. They're not much better at times. But when it comes down to it, a friend of mine just messaged me saying he's recatnapping. When it comes down to it, I think at the end of the day, I will go with a PC or otherwise manufacturer over console at this point. Unless Microsoft and Sony can find a way to pitch me on it, like cheaper than an actual buying a computer upgrade, or having something absolutely amazing, I don't see any reason to. And for game-wise, Sony's not interesting me in what they're doing. So overall, for the state of play of 2020, that sounds so weird. For 2022, let's just say it that way, I think they have a large hill to climb. I think that Sony is in an uphill battle. I'm curious to see how Microsoft does. I think Nintendo already canceled theirs, so we don't have them to look forward to this time. So essentially, we're only going to have Microsoft to look forward to and kind of see what they're doing. Overall, we'll have to see how I feel after the end of everything, of this E3 week. But right now, I'm pretty cold on Sony. I'm just going to put it out like that. Anyway, I've always wanted to do one of these videos. I've always wanted to kind of like just stream and talk about my thoughts on E3, since literally I am an insane type of person who I love video games immensely. And like, E3 is my time of year. Seeing how E3 gets done is like one of my favorite things. I love seeing everything. So for right now, thank you all for watching. Maybe Sony will win me over sometime later this year. Hogwarts Legacy is looking really good, but at the same time, I can get it on all the other platforms, and I'm getting kind of more frustrated about the fact that I'm not being shown a lot. It's a weird situation where Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy feels like a game where you could show a lot more because it's something brand new, and it feels like they're holding things back a bit too much. I need to know more, guys. Anyway, that's off topic. That's not anything about today's thing. Today's thing was pretty much just Sony. We'll focus on the rest of them as they come up. Anyway, till next time, guys. This is Silver, signing out.